Greetings and welcome to Growth Hacking Secrets. I'm your host, Mohammed Siddique from Atlanta, Georgia, and the co-author of New Success Secrets available on Amazon. On this episode, we have a special guest, Tina Bralley. Tina is a management accountant, outsourced CFO, small biz bookkeeper, and a nonprofit advocate. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, Tina Bralley. Tina, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tina. Let me start with this. Where were you? Where were you? What happened? Who you were surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
So I grew up in an entrepreneurial family for generations and generations, and I watched my grandparents and parents and everyone around me run small businesses. So anything from farmers to construction, I saw all their struggling and their successes and their failures, and that was just part of my culture and how I grew up and what life was like. So when I started college, I said, that life is not for me. I want to get a very secure, safe job at a big company and have all those benefits in retirement and not worry about the struggles of a small business. However, I did that. I went and I worked for CPA firms and H&R Block and rental property management company, collection companies. I did all those things. And then I took a step back, stayed home, worked on raising my family. And I realized that I couldn't stay home full time because my husband's teacher salary did not support everything we needed. And I needed a salary, but I didn't want to work away from home. So I started researching other jobs I could do from home. And I went through lots of crazy ideas, like being a groom at a horse barn with the kids with me. I started my own pottery business. I also tried a construction business in 2008 when the economy crashed. And so those all didn't work. So I stepped back and said again, okay, what can I do from home? I have both an accounting and a finance degree. So is there a way I can start a business at home? So as I was researching that, my brother decided to start his own company. So we partnered together and worked on his company for a few years until he grew up big enough to sell it. And along that way, I got references and grew more clients and networked a lot more. And so now I work with small businesses that are anywhere from 1 to 15 employees. They're all over the country, from California to Tennessee, and I work virtually with them. And they are anywhere from a construction to music performers in their industries. So that's where I'm at today, and loving working with small businesses.
What an amazing story. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
What are the top 3 mistakes to avoid?
So a lot of people, when they start a business, they want to do it all themselves. So they just jump in and start doing things. They don't think about the financial aspect of it as much. They just think it's so easy to just, look at their bank account and know the balance and move forward. So it's important to ask questions in the beginning of their business and figure out what the proper procedures are to move forward. So that would be mistake number 1. It's okay to do your own finances, but make sure you're doing them correctly. Number 2 is don't procrastinate. Like, they'll just throw it in a box, and then April 15, they look at it and say, oh no, what do I do now? So number 1 is don't procrastinate, try to stay on top of all that. And then number 3 is don't use those tax deadlines for motivating to do your taxes. So don't wait till April 15 to do those taxes or financial statements. So those are those 3 mistakes.
What is your greatest failure story? What did you learn and how did you recover from it?
So I have a hard time figuring out my greatest failure story, but looking back at some of my clients over the last 9 years, I feel there was one of the clients in the beginning that I did not do a very good job communicating on what he needed or what I needed, and therefore that lack of communication, I lost him as a client, which still drives me crazy today because I love doing a great job for people. And so from that, I've learned to communicate better, to make sure I stay on top of deadlines, and that we all work better together.
What are your top 3 success secrets that others can model from?
When you're starting out, like one of those things in the beginning to avoid is when you're starting out, make sure you get the right software. So spreadsheets work to a point, or paper and pen work to a point, but make sure you get that correct accounting software. Helps a lot. And then also create a system that works for you. Not everybody is the same. Not every business is the same. One way that a person does receipts may not work for the next person. So finding out what works best for you. And then also keeping up with your daily, weekly, monthly entries, whether that's scanning in a receipt, whether that's hiring it out to somebody else, so that you're always on top of it and you don't get behind.
One more.
And then just make sure you communicate. Like my thing that I learned before, communicating with your staff or your accountant or whoever it is you need to communicate with.
We are about to start a lightning round. That means quick question, quick answer. Are you ready?
Sure.
What are you grateful for today?
I am very grateful for my family and the place we live. During a pandemic year, it has been a crazy year, and I'm just very grateful for all those things.
How young are you?
44.
Tina, you're not 44. You are 18 years old with 26 years experience.
That's a lot of experience.
What you want to do when you grow up?
I'm still working on that idea, but I definitely want to continue enjoying my family. And for my business, I want to grow much larger and help small businesses, as many small businesses as I can.
How do you overcome a challenge life throws at you?
My first action is always to pray and to reflect on the situation that's happening, and then come up with a plan and a course of action to move forward.
How do you start your day?
I usually start with my personal prayer and reflection for the day, and then family time, and then make a plan for the day in the business and figure out what's going on next.
What is the advice you will give to younger yourself?
To not stress so much, to relax, enjoy life.
Once you have a revenue generating idea, how do you convince your significant other?
I don't really feel like I've ever convinced him of an idea. He's just very supportive in almost anything I do. And he knows once I make that decision, hey, this is going to be a great plan for our finances or something I want to do, I'm passionate about. He's usually very supportive on that. But I do ask him questions and get his opinion, because I greatly value his insight so that he can see that from a different perspective.
What is the impactful book you have read, and what did you learn from it?
It is Rich Dad. Can I get in the picture? Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah. So please clearly. It's not, no. Yeah, okay.
There we go.
Yeah, okay.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Yeah, so that's been my favorite book. I read it probably about college, and it's just helped me kind of see the bigger picture in the world, that it wasn't just a 9-to-5 job you go to, clock in, clock out. There's multiple ways to look at the world, and I think that was a great insight.
Why being impactful is important to you?
I feel that, being part of the world and making the world a better place is important, and any, tiny little thing that I can do is a benefit for everyone.
Who is your mentor and what's the impact?
So my first boss was one of my greatest mentors, the first boss right out of college, that is. He really trained me in and helped me connect all the knowledge I had learned from college and experiences I had in the past to what it was like to be an accountant in a small business.
What do you want to be remembered for?
Being kind and helpful to friends, family, volunteer work, anywhere.
Who is your ideal client?
A small business, usually anywhere to 1 to 15 employees, that really I can jump in and enjoy their passion with and help them grow.
How can we support you?
Just connect with me. My website, I'm on LinkedIn and YouTube. I have a Facebook group that I share insights with and everything. So yeah, come find me.
Okay, we are about to wrap up. I like to ask a quick word about your today's guest experience on the show. And here is my question. What would you say about your today's guest experience on the show?
It's been great. I've enjoyed it. And it's very nice. Thank you for having me.
What would you say as a final word?
Just for business owners, don't get stressed about accounting. You can learn how to manage your own accounts. And if you don't, or if you need help, don't feel bad for reaching out and getting help. That's important.
Thank you so much, Tina, for sharing your wisdom with us today on the behalf of Growth Hacking Secrets community and our entire team. We really appreciate you. This is Mohammed Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia. Until the next episode, all good wishes.
All right. Thanks.